You're watching Pyro Media Network.
I could be running or I'm chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too. If I got $1 for every time you slam the door, I would be the richest girl alive, life. If you hadn't run away every time I asked you stay, you would sleep right next to me.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, happy Friday, Junior. It is Dr. Nicole D. Vick. See, I got it right this time. I always forget to put that doctor in front of my name. Welcome to Nicole D. Vick Live, where we talk about all things important to the Black community from a social justice and public health perspective, because that's kind of the perspective that I have in my life. That's how I see the world. So I'm, of course, going to talk about all the things through that lens. That's how it is. It is December. We are here. It is the end of the year. I'm like, what had happened? Because 5 minutes ago, it was like January, and then we finna be in January again. I'm really confused. But if you really think about it, for me, I guess in a sense, I've lost about 6 months of my life with this ankle. So that's my excuse. The ankle will be the excuse for everything from June of this year. I'm gonna give myself a whole year till June 2025. The ankle is the excuse for all the things. Oh, Nicole, where is it? How come you didn't pay this bill? My ankle. How come my ankle? That is the excuse for everything, y'all. So just get ready for it. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it is. I'm so happy to have you here. This episode, we're just gonna reflect. It's a good idea to sit and ponder for a minute, pause and reflect and think about what's happened, what's going to happen. And also I want to share some stuff that's going on in my life of late, and also remind you of some really important things to do as we head into the holiday season. Things like shop local, shop small, give to your charitable organizations, things like that. So we got a jam-packed episode. It might go a little faster than normal, but it's a lot of information that I'm going to share with you. So again, really happy to have you all here. Now, one thing I'll share, I wrote an article. Well, I was interviewed and shared my thoughts around some ways to make the healthcare system better. Because as y'all know, the healthcare system is not good in the United States. And the irony of all of this is, was it today or yesterday? I forgot what day it was. The CEO of United Healthcare was literally like gunned down. Walking down the street in New York. I think they were heading to some board meeting or some sort of a financial meeting with some investors or something like that. And I guess he was minding his business and somebody came up with a pew pew, and that was the end of this person, right? And it's been really interesting to hear sort of the feedback, you know, because I'm a social media girl. I'm on Threads, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. And some people are, of course, to me, respectful. Like, I don't think that is how that man's life should have ended, right? But at the same time, people are like, well, depending on why this person's life was ended, um, a lot of people have a lot of issues and gripes with the healthcare system. And another thing I've seen circulating around is this graph. I wish I had have sent the photo to the producer. There's this graph that shows the percentage of denials of certain healthcare companies in the United States. So they had all of them, like Kaiser was on there, Blue Cross Blue Shield was on there, and then United Healthcare. And on this document, I have not been able to validate, right, the accuracy of this particular thing, but United Healthcare had the most denials, like the largest percentage of denials. So what that means is people go to their doctor, right? They have health insurance and they go to their doctor, they need treatment, and that claim for care is denied. So, hey, my ankle's broken, I need help. And they say, we're not paying for that. Sorry, you got to figure it out, right? And so people are speculating that perhaps this person was someone that was disgruntled, didn't get the care they needed, and was angry. Some people are saying, is it due to, the whatever this investment meeting was about, and they're trying to take this person out? Like, I don't know. So that, to me, again, it's like my article came out right around the time. There we go. Yeah, right around the time that this happened. And then there was something else that popped up where Blue Cross Blue Shield was like, you know what? If you have a surgery which requires an anesthesiologist and your doctor, so say the surgery is supposed to be 4 hours, okay? And your anesthesiologist, it needs to be there and provides that care for the 4 hours, but maybe there's a complication or maybe something going on and the doctor takes 5 hours. Blue Cross said, baby, we ain't paying for that extra hour, that anesthesiologist. You are going to have to pay for that extra hour. And I said, what is going on? And that was specific to a certain market. I think New York was in that market. There were certain states that were impacted by this decision. And I was like, wait a minute. So now you got this patient that's going to be rushing this doctor. Like, you're going to have to make sure you do this in 4 hours. Because I don't have no money to pay the anesthesiologist, because anesthesiology and anesthesiologists aren't cheap, right? Because they got to make sure you go to sleep, right, during your surgery, and they got to make sure you wake up, right? So this ain't nothing to play with. And so I was like, why would they do that? Because now that puts that burden on the patient to make sure, or that worry, I would say, on the patient to be like, okay, doc, like, you got to get in and get out, because I don't think the doctors are going to feel compelled to move faster, because they have to do what they have to do. So that just seemed really weird. But again, since then, I feel like they backtrack that decision, and it's not an issue. But I'm like, all these weird things are happening with healthcare. They're talking about potentially the Affordable Care Act being, dialed back and going bye-bye. So check the article out. All you have to really do is Google my name and say something like Nicole D. Vick Medium article or Nicole D. Vick Healthcare, and it'll pop right up. You'll see my face, my photos from Ghana. I was like, that's like the photo on the top of the article. And it's a very informative article. They asked a lot of really good questions around, what the status of the healthcare system is in this country. What can we do to address physician and nurse burnout? How can we improve making sure we have more doctors in this country? And I said, well, one of the ways is you need to do a better job of getting more Black physicians. So you need to create a better, stronger pipeline to getting Black doctors into, or potential people that are interested in medicine, into medical school and out into the field to practice medicine. I don't know if you know, there's a historical reason why we have so few Black doctors in this country. There was a report, I want to say it's a Flexner report, I don't want to say the wrong name, but ultimately it resulted in a lot of the Black medical schools being closed. And I think we only have 2 or 3 now. And so that has harmed the number of Black folk going into the field of medicine. And we see the repercussions of that today. So the article talks about a lot of that. And I didn't hold back nothing about any of my thoughts and feelings. So check it out. And I feel like, again, sometimes I just be knowing it. The article came right when all this stuff was happening. So check that out. I don't know. It's just wild. So I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit here and talk about the power of reflection. Again, we're at the end of the year. Most of us go into January like, yay, New Year's resolution. I'm about to do a thing. Woo, woo. And that's fine. But I feel like if you're going to do that, maybe spend December reflecting, like, what have I done this year? What haven't I done this year? And why? And maybe figure, get some sort of thought around that. Reflecting on the past year is really important, I think, for a lot of reasons. For one, again, you can kind of take stock. I think because a lot of us are on autopilot, we live our lives sort of like get up, go to work, go home, sit down, go to bed, right? That's it. We don't take time to say, wait, at the beginning of the year, this was what I wanted to do. And daggone it, at the end of the year, I've done those things. Or if you haven't done those things, you can kind of say, well, what happened to sort of derail me from my path? So reflecting really kind of gives you that opportunity to pat yourself on the back, and also to say, well, wait a minute. If I didn't get to where I wanted to go, what can I do differently to make sure I get there for next year, right? For me, for example, I was like, I graduated and I had like forgotten. I don't know, that sounds really strange, but I had forgotten until I spoke to someone today, a mentor. She said, you graduated this year. And I'm like, I did. I finished school, right? I'm literally Dr. Vick, and that happened this year. There were some things I wanted to do over the summer, but Ankle said, no, ma'am. You finna be sitting in this house for the rest of the year, boo-boo. That's what you finna do, right? And so for me, the reflection is why, right? I don't know. I tend to want to attribute like a reason to a thing. Like, why did this happen to me? And I kind of think I know what the answer is now because of the article I just wrote and, the things I've been doing and saying and working on. But I feel like maybe all this time I've been working in school, it was really just, Nicole, sit down. It's okay. You are so used to doing 50 things at once. For once in your life, have a seat. And because you don't listen and you're hard-headed, we are going to make it so that you have no choice but to sit down. Right? So that's crazy. Oh, I see a comment. Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad, because it was kind of scary about like, yeah, anesthesiologist, we only pay for 30 minutes or whatever. But thankfully they did. They did roll it back. I think people were like, this don't make no sense. What? And they realized we got to figure out another way to save money, because it's really what it's about, right? They want to put some of that cost onto the patient. So yeah. Thank you for that commenter. Thank you so much. And so one thing I'll say, when we're thinking about reflecting and thinking back, there's some things that I think that are really important that you can do. You can journal. I have gotten away from journaling and I need to get back to it because I have a lot of things in my head, and at any given time, it's like a computer with all the tabs open. It's a lot going on. So sometimes it's really important to write it down and get it out. Another idea, gratitude list. What are you thankful for? I'm going to tell you something. I will never, ever, ever take my ankle or the ability to walk or drive for granted. And so that would be at the top of my gratitude list. I watch videos on social media and I see people dancing and I'm like, man, or doing things that to me are risky. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, you don't value your ankle. And it shows. Because I'm like, if I could get up and get outside, I would never do that because I need my ankle. So I want all of you to value, if you can walk, if you can drive, dance, all those things, be grateful, because it's really easy to take those things for granted. We just get up and move. And it's like, when you can't, it's like, wait, dang, I never realized how important this is. So gratitude list. Also celebrating accomplishments. I took my dissertation, which was 200 pages, scrunched it down to 45 pages. I don't know how, but I did. I was like, I got to delete all of this stuff and try to get the essence of this thing. And I submitted it for consideration for publication in a peer-reviewed journal. And I said to one of my friends who also submitted, I said, I don't even know what to do with myself. She said, celebrate. So it's really important to even celebrate the accomplishment of, I got something that was important to me into something. I don't know what's going to happen, but celebrate the fact that you took the time and effort to do the thing. So get to journaling. This is the time of year to buy a brand new journal with empty pages. Get you some pretty pens and start writing. Get you a notepad and get your gratitude list going. And take the time to celebrate every little thing. When I was in school and I was like, oh, I finished writing chapter 2, that was time for party. Or I finished, writing my IRB application, we finna party. Because again, those little things actually mean a lot, because you got to think about the effort it takes. And so I just encourage all of you to take this time. We got, it's December 5th. We got a good number of days left in this month. Take stock, right? What have you done? What haven't you done? Maybe you have to forgive yourself. Maybe you wanted to do something and you didn't get to it. It's okay. Give yourself permission to either grieve the fact that you didn't do it or forgive yourself, right? And then start to journal, get that gratitude list, and all those good things, okay? We're going to go to a commercial and be back and talk about Small Business Saturday and shopping small and all those good things. And then looking forward to 2025.
Are you ready for enlightening conversations that transcend boundaries? Get ready for Conversations with Clergy, brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network. In partnership with the world's largest publicly funded international collaboration, the HVTN is dedicated to evaluating vaccines to prevent HIV and COVID-19. But their impact doesn't stop there. The HVTN is at the forefront of advancing vaccinology, social and behavioral sciences, statistics, immunology, and even contributing to the research on tuberculosis and COVID-19 vaccines. By supporting Conversations with Clergy, the HVTN not only brings you thought-provoking discussions, but also contributes to the global effort to combat infectious diseases. Tune in, stay informed, and be a part of the change. Conversations with Clergy, supported by the HVTN, empowering conversations, empowering lives. Join us in this journey of knowledge, understanding, and progress. Conversations with Clergy, proudly brought to you by the HIV Vaccine Trials Network, because together we can make a difference.
And we are back. Welcome back. Nicole D. Vick Live. I'm Dr. Nicole D. Vick. We are going to talk about the importance of giving back and shopping small. Oh, I see a comment about journaling. Let's go back. Yes, it does. Because I found, you know what? This really quickly. Thank you for that comment. I have found, because I'm one of those people, and I know I'm not the only one. I will buy journals because they're cute. And, oh, it's so cutesy. And then I'll buy another one because it's cute. Ooh, and then I have like 25 journals in the house, right? But what I will say is I have found old journals that I have written in. And I think what I'm going to start doing, matter of fact, like this one. You know what? This is real life. We're going to do some real life right here. I found this one because I needed a notebook for work. And I was like, oh, I can't find nothing. And so I have, I probably can't see it. This is written in pencil. What I was going to say before I started this is I need to start putting dates in here. But I found a book idea. It said I have a working title. I have a whole premise. I have all of this stuff in here. So I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I do have a date. This is 2018. So Even if you are that kind of person like me that buys 25 journals and you start writing in it and you get to page 3 and then don't write in it no more, don't throw it away. Because what happens is 7 years later, you go to it and you're like, oh crap, that was a good idea. Because now I got to sit down and reread this and see what this book idea was. Because I might need to, start writing again. I have ideas for t-shirts in here. I have meetings with my producer in here. And it says, oh my goodness, y'all, this is real life. It says potential podcast idea. So this podcast that you watching in right now is in writing in this notebook. Okay. So yes, I'm a fan. You know what? I mean, come on now. That was a real life example. So buy the journals because they're cute. That's fine. Cutesy. Just keep them, even if you have 25 of them, because again, at some point in your life, you're going to say, dang, I need to take a note. I need to write something down. And you'll find it. And then you'll be like, wait a minute. Hold on. This right here. Hey. So yes, journaling is so important because I'm like, I had a glimpse of my life in 2018 that I didn't remember. So yes, journal for sure. All right. Supporting small businesses, supporting nonprofits. This is the time of year. We just had Giving Tuesday on Tuesday. And also, this is the time when people start shopping, right? Black Friday, all the small business Saturday. I just always feel like it's important for me to put that pitch in for people to support. Always, if you can, because I know right now it's a little funny. People, money is funny, and I totally get it because I'm like, baby, I don't know. But if you can and if you are able, you really, really, really should try to shop and support your local businesses. I will go a step further because I am Black and try to support your local Black owned businesses. I am not talking out of my behind. I really do walk the talk. Okay. And one of the key example, if you are not aware, maybe your first time watching me, I used to do pop-up shops literally in my backyard. And they were all Black women business owners. I feel like I've done at least 3 or 4 over the course of maybe 3 or 4 years. No, maybe a couple of years. Of course, during the pandemic, we didn't do any, but it really was just me watching other people do it. So there was a woman, Fatima, at Runway Boutique, and she was doing pop-up shops, and they were called Head Wraps in the Park. Rent out this really big park in downtown Los Angeles, full of Black vendors, and it was amazing. And I was like, I would love to recreate this. And one of my friends, Neva, who now is in Atlanta, was like, we used to do it too at the house, just set it up. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. And that's what I did. And so it was amazing because I would bring together these vendors who had amazing products. And some of these women I'm still friends with. Like I can call any of them and, hey, how you doing? Sometimes I buy some stuff from them for gifts. Matter of fact, the candle company, I don't have her candle in front of me. I do. There's a woman that lives down the street from me. And I didn't know she lived down the street until I ordered something and I looked at the address. I said, wait a minute. She lives down the street. Candle maker. I ordered some candles from her because I have an event for work and another event. And I said, I need some candles. She knows I can't move. I can't do much. She said, girl, we'll drop them candles off. She brought them to the house at no charge. She said, don't worry about it. And they were here and they were done. So the beauty of shopping small, you're supporting the local economy. Yes. You are also supporting someone's livelihood, someone's passion, someone's family. You're maybe paying for somebody's kids' school. You're doing all that kind of good stuff. But I think the most important thing, at least for me, you can actually have real-time conversations with people. So for example, let's go back to this candle. I'm just loving how I didn't even plan this stuff. It's like around me and I'm just grabbing stuff. I said, hey, her name is Tony. I said, Tony, I want to put a personalized label on some candles because I want to give them as gifts to some friends for graduation because we were graduating. And she said, what do you want the label to say? And I told her, and she sent me a mock-up. She was like, that's no problem. I'll do it. I don't even think she charged me for it. And so, of course, I bought one for myself. But these are personalized labels. I wanted to say something really cute. And so she did that for me. And it wasn't even a big deal. I don't know. You can't go in Target and be like, hey, can you put this on? Can you put my friend name on this plate? I want to give it to her. Target's gonna be like, baby, we can't help you. But I can go to this small local business owner and say, can you make me a personalized label for that candle? And she was like, sure. Or I could say to the woman that makes the kimonos, can you make me a camouflage kimono with the da-da-da-da-da on the back? Yes. I could talk to Neva. Neva, can you, here's some fabric. Can you make me some shorts and a thing? Sure. Let me take your measurements. And it's like, not an issue. So I think shopping small is going to be really important. Things are going to shift in the economy. Prices are going to go up. So it's really important to kind of draw your dollars back and make sure that they circulate in your community. So that's one thing I'll say. The other thing is, if there are nonprofit organizations that speak to your values, it is really important to support them. And I'll explain in general terms why. So a lot of times nonprofit organizations will compete for grants to do specific work. They may also, try to work with a philanthropic organization that has money and say, hey, can you help me? I need some funding for operational costs. But a lot of times that money is very specific. You can't spend that money on upgrades to an office space. You have to spend it on the work that you promised that you would do. So when you donate to a nonprofit organization, that money can be used for any purpose. So if they need a new office space, if the printer broke, or there's some other, they can use that money because it's not tied to a grant or a specific sort of work that they promised that they would do with the organization that gave them the money. I hope that makes sense. And so that's why Giving Tuesday is important. That's why there's another one called Big Day of Giving is really important to really support those organizations that really hold a place in your heart. And so I have several, and I'll just name some of them so that in case you're like, well, I don't know who to send some money to, I'm gonna tell you right now. So one of them is California Black Health Network. If you follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram, you saw a video, me rolling up in my little wheelchair, because I said, oh, that's the video I'm gonna make. I'm gonna roll up in this wheelchair and I'm gonna tell a story. And I'm gonna talk about why this entity, this organization is so important to me. So they focus on the health of Black Californians, statewide organization that is really advocating for racial health equity, trying to educate. There's this really cool campaign they did, How Do I, to help people understand how to navigate healthcare. We just talked about how healthcare a little wild these days, a little funny style. How do you navigate? How do you talk to your doctor? How do you push back? How do you make a complaint when something doesn't happen the way that you think it should happen? What do you do if you've been harmed by the healthcare system? And so there's been a series of workshops that California Black Health Network has done to help people learn those things. They're very important because when stuff goes left and you don't know what to do, you end up sitting around for 104 days with an ankle that's just broken, and you just sitting here like, well, what am I supposed to do? And oftentimes we don't know what to do. And so we're kind of like stuck. And don't add to it being poor, English not being your first language, not having a support network. Those things actually make it harder. So I love organizations like California Black Health Network because, again, they're actively trying to make sure that Black Californians get a certain standard of care that they're currently not getting. Okay. There's another one, Esperanza Community Housing. They have a fabulous, one of their entities is Mercado La Paloma here in Los Angeles, fabulous food in that place. One of the vendors there just got a Michelin star, which is like awesome. And they do a lot of work again around advocacy and support in regards to housing, how to make sure that residents in some of our lower income neighborhoods have safe housing. Just because you live in a lower income neighborhood does not mean you should be subjected to things like lead poisoning or substandard housing or unsafe housing, right? So that's another organization. Physicians for Social Responsibility Los Angeles, really good on economic justice. Like, why should low income or urban communities be burdened with toxic waste and nuclear, the whole conversation around nuclear waste or nuclear threat, very important, because baby, if a nuclear threat happens, um, we all in danger, right? So really, really important organizations of public health advocates also is another one, statewide organization. So think about organizations that speak to your values, could be anything, right? And figure out ways to support. And sometimes it's not about money. It could be about volunteering. Maybe they need help with doing something. So just think of those things. So two things: shop small, shop local, and for me, shop black. Look for the black people, because you already know we often don't get the same amount of funding, attention, support that other organizations do. One entity that just came up for me, and I'll share this because I saw it on Instagram, Ghetto Gastro. They have Pop Tarts, like they're called Bop Tarts, and I can't wait because they're vegan too. And I was like, oh yay. Someone made a video kind of clowning because they didn't like the name Ghetto Gastro, and I was like, well, what's wrong with that name? So I'm about to buy me some Pop Tarts, some Bop Tarts, and I'll let you know how they taste, because like I said, I was like, please let them be vegan, and they were. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to get them and try them. So that's another example of a small Black-owned business. They are in Target, which is huge, right? Making sure they stay there, making sure they are successful. And it's really not hard to do. If you are already shopping and you buy Pop Tarts, then well, let me switch over and try the Pop Tarts. Pop Tarts is going to be just fine. Kellogg's is going to be just fine, right? So support these small businesses as they try to grow. Tips for finding small businesses on Instagram. I believe there are some folks that are actively promoting these businesses. So you have to look for them. If I remember, I'll try to drop some into the YouTube comment section of this video once it gets to replay. And then I think I'll just kind of end here, really about looking forward to 2025. Listen, 2025 is going to be real interesting. Okay. And I knew that when I looked on the calendar and saw that inauguration day is MLK Day. I'm like, oh boy, this is about to be wild. We in an alternate universe right now. So 2025 is going to be very, very special for us, for a lot of us, I'll say. But I also feel like that doesn't mean we have to feel defeated, right? Get in your journal, write down your plans for yourself, figure out ways how you're going to get involved, because we're going to have to do a lot of work to make sure that things go the way we want them to. I don't know what's going to happen. I have some thoughts about what may happen, but I feel like on a personal level, right, you still have to think about what do you want for your life? What do you want to see for yourself? Because the world is going to do what it do. The world is going to world. The United States is going United States, right? The country is going country. Stuff is going to roll as it was intended to roll, regardless of who's in office. And I think a lot of us know that. But again, outside of that, what can we do to make a difference for ourselves, our communities, people that look like you, and even people that don't, right? Because everyone is not going to have the same experience living through the next 4 years and beyond. So set your intentions, get your goals, figure out how you're going to support, or what you're going to do, and let's get going. Let's get it. I will probably share with you in January my goals for 2025, and we just gonna walk one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. That's all we can do. So I'm really excited. I'm a little scared, but I think we're going to be okay, because we've always been okay. Despite what has happened to us, we've always managed to be here and to survive. So we just gonna have to draw back and, talk to the ancestors, or draw on their support and strength, and we'll be okay. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it on down. Thank you for watching. I will see you maybe next week, maybe not, because I might run a rerun, y'all. It's the end of the year. I'm tired. I'm so very proud of all the episodes that I have put together for 2024, and I'm looking forward to a beautiful 2025. My website is currently down. We don't know what happened, but it's going to be back up soon. In the meantime, you can maybe bookmark it. So when it is back up, it is right there ready for you. www.NicoleDvick.com. I don't know where it went. I guess it said I'm tired too. It just went on and sat down. Okay. But when it is back up, you can go on there. You can see my books. You can see my speaking engagements and all the good things on there. My episodes where I've been a guest on other people's podcasts. There's a nice playlist of that on there as well. You can also check me out on social media. I'm picking back up a little bit. I'm more so on LinkedIn more than anything. LinkedIn and Instagram. I still haven't made my way back to TikTok yet. So, but still, you can follow me there. Everything is Nicole D. Vick. And I think that's it. Like, share, subscribe, holler at me, say hello, whatever you want to do. And if I don't see you live next week, there will be a fabulous rerun. Probably I might throw something in with me and Andrea, my daughter, because we, when she was here, living here, we had a good old time, but she's grown and gone now. But anyway, I thank you all for checking in and listening and watching. And I'll be in touch. All righty. Bye.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.